What if the peculiar ache you feel as the world decks its halls isn't just loneliness, but a kind of spiritual sonar? A ping echoing back from the future, showing you the shape of what's coming into view. While everyone else is humming along to songs about joy and gathering, you're often conducting a silent internal symphony of a completely different tone. You feel the dissonance. The tinsel and cheer can feel like a bright, noisy curtain hung over something far more ancient and personal happening within you. It's as if you're standing in a crowded, sparkling room, yet you can hear, with perfect, painful clarity, the distinct sound of a single heart beating, yours, and perhaps, faintly, the echo of another. This isn't about missing out on the party. This is about being attuned to a different frequency altogether, one that these specific days amplify with an almost merciless kindness. The collective energy of late December is like a massive rushing river of light and nostalgia flowing toward a single day. Most people are happily bobbing along on its surface. But you've somehow found yourself in a deep, still eddy at the river's edge. Here, the noise of the current fades. The frantic motion stops, and in that sudden, profound quiet, everything you've been too busy to hear, every unresolved feeling, every postponed truth, every whispered promise your soul made to itself, rises to the surface like a reflection on perfectly still water. This isn't an accident. This is the invitation, the world's loudest celebration, coinciding with your soul's most potent quiet. This is where the magic, the frustrating, glorious, and deeply personal magic, begins to stir. It doesn't feel like magic at first, of course. It feels like restlessness. It feels like old memories playing on a loop you didn't set. It feels like catching yourself staring into the middle distance, wondering about someone with an intensity that seems to arrive from outside of you. That's the hook. That's the signal. The universe isn't just throwing a holiday, it's holding space for a sacred internal reckoning. It's providing the contrasting backdrop of external joy against which your inner, authentic longing can finally be seen and honored in stark relief. So before you dismiss that December pang as mere melancholy, ask yourself, what if this annual tension isn't a wound, but a tuning fork? And what if the note it's ringing is the first clear tone of a harmony you've been waiting your whole life to hear? The journey from that question to its answer is where everything changes. Let's talk about the clock. Not the digital one blinking on your microwave, counting down to a warmed-over meal, but the other one, the silent, ancestral tick-tock that lives in your bones. The one that doesn't measure minutes, but milestones. And right now, in these peculiar twilight days, wedged between Thanksgiving leftovers and the first strains of Jingle Bells, that internal chronometer is doing something extraordinary. It's turning into a gavel. It's transforming from a measure of time into a judge of it. You see, we all operate on these layered frequencies of time. There's clock time, yes. Then there's soul time, that elastic, mysterious continuum where healing takes what it takes, and a single moment of connection can eclipse a decade of emptiness. But then, there's cultural time, the narrative arc the world agrees upon, and its most potent chapter, the end of the year, the grand finale, the collective deep breath before the page turns. This is where it gets deliciously, terrifyingly interesting for you. For someone on the twin flame journey, these days aren't just about wrapping presents. They become what I call the unbidden hour. It's an involuntary, existential audit that your psyche conducts using the closing year as its ledger, and the only line item under review? Them. Think of it like this. All year, you've been swimming in the ocean of your process. Some days were calm, some were stormy, but you were in it. The horizon was fluid. Now, suddenly, the universe hauls you onto the quiet, cold beach of December and says, look back at the water. See the distance from shore. The perspective is brutal and clarifying. It's no longer about the daily swim. It's about the entire voyage. For the divine masculine energy, often so adept at living in compartments, in the perpetual next quarter or someday, this audit is a silent earthquake. He's driving home, maybe, past houses laced with fairy lights, and a thought slices through the podcast he's using as a buffer. Another one, another whole trip around the sun, and I still didn't call, didn't risk, didn't choose. It's not just regret. It's a profound confrontation with his own pattern, dressed up in the stark, unarguable clothing of a passing year. The festive spirit around him becomes a haunting contrast track, amplifying the quiet in his own heart. He's not just missing a person. He's facing the ghost of the man he promised himself he'd become last January. The courage he budgeted for later is now officially in arrears. And you, the divine feminine? Your audit is different, but it springs from the same cosmic trigger. Your ledger isn't of actions not taken, but of transformations undeposited. You've done the work. My God, have you done the work? You've burned sage and boundaries, cried rivers into your journal, rebuilt your worth from the splinters up. And now, as you string the lights, a whisper rises. I am ready. So ready. Is this ever going to be a currency he accepts? Your reflection isn't on inaction, but on the breathtaking investment of your heart, awaiting a return the material world can't quantify. The tension isn't about what you didn't do. It's about the magnificent yield of your healing waiting to be shared, and the terrifying possibility that the intended recipient might never open the account. This is the mystery. The Christmas portal doesn't manufacture new energy out of thin air. It takes the most mundane, universal human experience, the year's end, and weaponizes it for your soul's evolution. It hijacks nostalgia and turns it into a catalyst. The songs, the smells, the collective urge to go home. It all conspires to make the place you're not, that space of union, of resolution, feel not just like a desire, but like a missing limb. It's hilariously ironic, isn't it? While the world is busy with surface-level cheer, you're in the basement of your soul, doing the deepest spring cleaning of your life. You're trying to meditate to peaceful music while your inner critic is doing a full-year performance review. Q4 results for the heart, promising growth, but Project Union remains delayed. Shareholders, your nervous system, are anxious. But here's the raw, beautiful truth of this unbidden hour. This pressure isn't here to crush you, it's here to create you. The diamond doesn't resent the weight. It understands it's the price of becoming something that can cut through anything. This chronological claustrophobia, this feeling that time is running out, is an illusion. Soul time is infinite. What's running out is your tolerance for the old story. The year's end is simply the prop your spirit uses to stage the final act of that tired, weary narrative. So when you feel that squeeze, that urgent, almost panicked reflection rising as you sip your cocoa, don't numb it, don't scroll it shui. Lean in, ask the question, man, what is this feeling? Oh, right, it's the weight of a truth I've been carrying all year, finally asking to be put down. This is the forge. This discomfort is the heat that allows the metal of your will to be tempered. Will you choose from this day forward to carry the same fear into a new calendar? Or will you, in the silent theater of your own heart, finally write the verdict your soul has been drafting for months? The beautiful, terrifying, and ultimately liberating part is that his unbidden hour and yours, though experienced in separate silences, are energetically congruent. They're happening in tandem, and while you're both alone in your individual reckonings, you're also strangely together in the crucible. Which makes what happens next, well, that's where the mirror gets even more interesting. Because what if the resolution isn't about one of you finally speaking, but about both of you finally hearing the same silent, deafening verdict from within? Curious how two separate silent audits can somehow orchestrate a single resonant outcome. Let's peer into that even deeper. You know that feeling, don't you? When you're sitting there, maybe folding laundry or staring at a spreadsheet, and out of nowhere, wham, a feeling about them hits you so hard it nearly bends you at the waist. It's not a memory, it's not a daydream, it's a transmission, a clean, clear wave of grief or joy, or this frantic, restless energy that makes your knees bounce. And you think, where did that come from? I was just thinking about what to make for dinner. Here's the secret you're already intuiting. You are on the line. You are picking up a call from the internal switchboard of your shared soul. And in these specific charged days before Christmas, that switchboard isn't just active. It's hosting a full-blown, high-stakes conference call. But everyone's on mute, and the agenda is one item. What do we do now? We talk about mirroring like it's a passive thing. He's cold because you're not feeling loved. She's running because you're chasing. But that's kindergarten stuff. Let's go postgraduate. During this portal, mirroring evolves from a reflective surface into a deliberative body. Think of it less like a looking glass and more like a sacred, invisible round table where the two deepest parts of your beings are seated, presenting arguments, weighing evidence, and, here's the kicker, casting votes. Your conscious minds. They're not in the room. They're out in the lobby, nervously drinking bad coffee, waiting for a memo with the final decision. This is the mystery of telepathic consensus. It's why you can wake up at 3 a.m. with a sudden, unshakable knowing that it's over, only to have him text a week later with a resigned, "We need to talk." That text wasn't the decision. It was the minutes from the meeting your souls had 7 days prior. It's why you might feel a surge of irrational, fearless love for him on a random Tuesday, only to get a clumsily affectionate email on Friday that says, "I was thinking about that time we..." That email is the physical echo of a frequency you broadcast days before. How does this happen? The Christmas energy doesn't create the connection. It strips away the static. All year, you've both been broadcasting on your soul channels, but life is noisy. Ego, fear, jobs, other people. It's like trying to hear a whisper in a hurricane. But this portal, with its collective focus on peace, reconciliation, and heart opening, is like a giant cone of silence descending over your two spirits. Suddenly, the signal comes in clear. Your inner stance, that place beyond thought where your truth lives, isn't just a private feeling anymore. It's a resonant frequency broadcast on a clear channel. So when you, in your quiet moment of empowerment, finally release the need for him to complete you and instead vibrate with the wholeness of I am complete, with or without you, that's not a thought. It's a signal, a coherent, high-frequency signal. And it travels. It reaches the dormant receiver in his soul, and it pings against his own unresolved material. It might stir up a storm of confusion in his conscious mind. He might feel agitated, drawn to old distractions. But in the council chamber, his soul has just received new data. The proposal on the table has changed. The beautiful, frustrating, and ultimately perfect part is that this council operates on soul time, not iPhone time. The deliberations can feel, to your waiting heart, like an eternity. You sent love on Monday, so why is he still acting like a lobotomized hedgehog on Thursday? Because his soul received the love, filed it as Exhibit A, and is now presenting it to the resistant parts of his psyche in a lengthy internal tribunal. The Christmas energy provides the quiet space for this tribunal to convene, but it doesn't rush the process. This is where you have to become a master of nuance. You have to learn to distinguish between your own anxious brain chatter and the quiet, firm resolutions that come from your seat at that inner round table. That sudden calm release of anger, that's you voting. That inexplicable surge of compassion for his fear, that's you voting. That decision to stop analyzing his Spotify playlist and go for a walk in the crisp winter air instead, that's you voting. Every time you choose peace over panic, wholeness over lack, and truth over story, you're casting a ballot in this silent election. And the tally is being counted in real time, across the veil. The wildest part? You're both voting on the same issue, but from different rooms. He's voting on whether to finally surrender to the vulnerability he feels. You're voting on whether to keep your heart open in a state of unattached grace. They seem like separate motions, but in the soul's parliament, they're amendments to the same bill, the act of union. And when the votes align, when both souls independently reach a majority in favor of courage, that's when the physical world shudders and produces the text, the call, the knock on the door. The manifestation is just the ceremonial signing of the legislation your souls have already passed. So tonight, when you feel that weird quiet tug in your chest, don't dismiss it as indigestion from the holiday cookies. Ask yourself, what is being decided right now? Is my soul, in its infinite wisdom, casting a vote for freedom, for love, for a new chapter? And can I trust that his soul, in its own dark, silent chamber, is doing the same weary, hopeful, magnificent work? Because the miracle isn't that he shows up. The miracle is that you both, separately and together, finally agree to let it happen. And that agreement, beautiful soul, is first written in the invisible ink of feeling, long before it's ever typed into a text message. You're not just waiting for an answer from him. You're both quietly waiting for the final count from within. And when that inner tally is complete, you won't need to decode his actions anymore. You'll just know. The silence will have finally spoken. So here we are. You've sat through the silent audit, felt the gavel of the year's end tap against your heart. You've been a participant in that invisible council, casting votes with your quietest feelings. You've hung the lights, maybe felt the sting of nostalgia, and wondered for the 1,000th time, what is all this for? Let me offer you a different lens. Maybe, just maybe, the point of this entire shimmering, frustrating, magnificent December portal isn't to deliver a person wrapped in a bow to your doorstep by the 25th. I know. Part of you just threw a mental cushion at me. That's okay, hear me out. Think of it as a kind of spiritual acoustics. The Christmas season, with its specific frequency of hope and reunion, is like entering a grand empty cathedral. In the busy echo of ordinary life, your own inner voice, your soul's truth, gets lost in the noise. But step into that silent, hallowed space, and suddenly every whisper is amplified. Every sigh echoes toward the vaulted ceiling. This portal doesn't create the message. It removes every distraction so you can finally hear yourself. And what are you hearing? Beneath the will he, won't he, beneath the ache of memory, there's a foundational note being played. It's the note of your own sovereignty. This is the quiet victory no one talks about. It's not the victory of union. It's the victory of unshakable clarity. It's the moment you realize you've been building a home inside yourself all along, and the only question that truly matters is not, will he come home, but is my own home warm, lit, and welcoming to me? This journey was never a treasure hunt for another. It was always an excavation of the self. The twin flame, in their glorious, frustrating humanity, is simply the most effective excavator the universe could devise. They know exactly where to dig to hit the buried pipes of old pain, the hidden foundations of unworthiness. And these December days, they're like the final, focused beam of the work light, illuminating the last corner of the site. You're not just waiting for him. You're overseeing the final inspection of your own soul's renovation. And what have you built through all these seasons of feeling? You've built a resilience that doesn't waver with his silence. You've furnished an inner world with compassion so deep you can finally offer it to yourself without conditions. You've installed windows of wisdom where there used to be walls of fear. This isn't a waiting room you're in, it's a lighthouse. And a lighthouse doesn't pace the shore, worried if the ship saw the signal. It simply stands, it shines. Its integrity is in its constant, radiant presence, regardless of who is navigating by it. That's the hilarious divine paradox they don't put on the motivational posters. The very act of preparing for a profound union is the same act that makes you profoundly complete without it. You've been polishing the vessel for so long, you didn't notice it was already overflowing with a piece that needs no external source. So if Christmas morning comes and goes without a cinematic declaration, look down, not at your phone, but at your own 2 feet. Feel the ground you're standing on. It's new ground. You laid it. You compacted it with every tear, every prayer, every choice to heal. This is your territory now. And from this vantage point, the view is entirely different. You're no longer peering into the fog, straining to see a shape. You're standing in your own truth, and the atmosphere is so clear you can see all the way to the horizon of your own life. The promise of this portal, then, is not a merger, it's an alignment. It's the coming into tune of your inner reality with your outer existence. When you walk out of this December, you won't be the same person who walked in. You'll be more whole, more distilled, more you. And from that place, your next steps, whether they are toward him, toward a new path, or simply toward a deeper peace within your own company, will be taken with a certainty that doesn't require anyone else's validation. You started this seeking a reunion with another, but the real reunion has been happening beneath the surface this whole time. The reunion between who you thought you were and who you truly, divinely are. That's the miracle the light was heralding. Not a savior in a manger, but the christening of your own unwavering spirit. And you know the most interesting thing about a lighthouse keeper. Once the light is shining steady and true, their job isn't to fret about the ships, it's to tend the flame, to keep it bright. Everything else is just beautiful, distant scenery on the vast ocean of what's possible. Your light is now lit. The rest is just geography. And honestly, the view from here is breathtaking.